How are you keeping? Good?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. Been busy. How about you?
Yeah, it's obviously been a rare time for all of us, really, and that we've had to just adapt to a unique situation. But yeah, this definitely seen a big community spirit come together with different groups of people. It's been tough for a lot of people, but everyone's sort of you can see a lot of the music community and a lot of other communities all sort of coming together to sort of help each other out, which is nice to see.
Yeah,
I
it's
hope
lovely,
it,
isn't it?
I hope it continues after this pandemic's over, but you never know.
No, I'd like to think so because everybody I've actually spoke to has said the same thing that they want it to continue. They want people to continue being supportive of each other when it's over. So if everybody's wanting the same thing, then it can only really result in something positive, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So how are you getting on during lockdown? Because obviously you haven't really stopped, have you? You carried on with your takeaway offerings and stuff.
Yeah, obviously in a similar situation to the brickmakers, we as a bar we've worked with grassroots musicians putting on their own shows for the past sort of 5 years. So once the lockdown was announced, we had to close. Obviously, I have a mobile catering business, which was a side project we were doing, but that suddenly become quite a focal point. And then we started to deliver from the bar as well, just as a just something to take a bit extra money during the times, really, I suppose. And I mean, it's been quite a nice response about the food. Everyone's been quite positive about the food and service we've been delivering. So we're hoping we can continue that once the bars reopens. Obviously, they've said that bars can reopen, so we're looking at doing a bit of refurbishment and see what we can do. But obviously, a big part of our business was people putting their own shows on, so we're still going to have a slight difficulty, obviously, because you're not allowed to do that. I'm a bit confused with the whole government guidelines. They're kind of a bit, yeah, double-edged, really. You
That's
can't,
because they haven't given us any guidelines yet, Andrew. They literally
yeah,
are just guidelines for pubs. There's no
yeah,
guidelines for music venues, and both you and I pretty much sit under that bracket. So we've just got to sit and wait. We know you can't have any singing going on. We know that's a given. So
yeah.
but you are speculating and guessing at it a lot of it, aren't you, at the moment?
Well, that's the thing. Obviously, there's a lot of naturally concerned people out there that have lost loved ones, etc. So they obviously want to know that when they go out, they're going to be safe. As a venue, we're only as good as the information we're given. If we're not given the information, we can't ensure people are safe. And when you see scenes like yesterday in Bournemouth, where you've got 100,000 people going to a beach, I think the government's message sometimes get a bit lost. I don't think even they know what they're doing. I think that's the problem we've got, is that between this and Brexit, we've kind of exposed politicians for what they are, which are just clueless posh people that don't know what they're doing, which is, I don't think we've actually, I don't think this is the first time probably in over half a century they've actually had to do anything. And they've not really done a very good job. I mean, a lot of people have died, people's livelihoods are at stake, and yeah, it's a very rare time. The only thing like I said, the only positive I can see is that I think as communities we've kind of learned to manage ourselves and think, okay, there's no point relying on the powers that be. Let's just stick together and see what we can do as a community. So that's definitely really good to see. And it's really nice to see the musicians sort of clumping together and doing the music video for Brickmakers. That was really nice to see.
Yeah, it was awesome, wasn't it?
Because I mean, I know that you as a group you've been in there for about 15, 20 years.
It was
Brickmakers,
17 years now. So
17 years. Yeah, well there you go. So you've been a massive part of the music scene for Norwich and, well, East Anglia really. So yeah, I know pub companies can be. I don't know. Have they been very supportive of the pub company? I know
I,
you've had problems with them in the past. I don't know if things
I
have
think
changed now.
they've been a bit slow in coming forward, but I think they're going to turn around and give us a hand. I'm not sure 100%. Every time we speak to him, it's like, don't worry, we don't want to lose you. We'll make sure that there's a
Yeah,
package in place to support you. But every week we don't know what that package is, and every
no,
week
no,
we're accruing rent. So it's a case of you've got to try and have a bit of faith in them. But obviously, with past experience, it's very difficult, isn't it?
yeah, it's
You know,
difficult. And from our perspective, because we're not the biggest venue, we've we would probably be seen as quite a high risk for people coming out of lockdown and to come to watch a gig at our venue.
mm,
So that's why for the moment we're you know, obviously we can't do any live music. We're working hard to do a bit of refurbishment, get I think there's some specialist companies that come in and do proper sort of anti-viral cleans or whatever, just extra precautions to make sure that when we do open up, the customers are safe, because that's obviously the most important thing. And then we just go from there, really. But I'm hoping that when we have a date, and especially when the brickmakers can reopen, we'd love to be part of that and maybe come in and throw some nachos
Yeah,
and
definitely.
your customers, you know, so they've got something to eat and make a big celebration of it. I think the most important thing I've definitely learned from this is that as venues, I think the only way we're going to get through this is all working together.
It's very
I
true.
suppose in the past we all kind of did our own thing, and that's it's nothing against what we did. It's just we're all busy lives and we're all doing our own thing. But I suppose now, because because the whole scene's in a big threat, I think the only way we're going to get through this is all sort of clumping together and
Yeah.
helping each other out. You know, and you know, yeah, I think that's the way forward. And obviously with the musicians as well, because obviously there's a lot of musicians that have full-time work, you know, playing gigs, and their income has now been completely stopped. So it's scary times for the arts and art community. So
It
yeah,
is, but you know, at the end of the day, we're quite a resourceful group, as venue owners and musicians, and
yeah,
I think you're right. I think we all pull together, we can all get through this together, and we've all got a lot to offer each other. At the end of the day, you know,
yes,
for instance, we don't have a kitchen, Andrew, so we
no,
can't do food. However, you guys can, and you are you know, you've got the facility to do it, you know, in a mobile way. So
yeah,
by all means, you know, you guys need to come up here when we've got our busy nights and serve some nachos, because I know it'd keep a lot of drunk people happy. But we've got to get
exactly,
the drunk people in here first, you know.
yeah. Definitely, yeah. And with how how wonderful the sunshine is at the moment, it would be nice to see yeah, it'd be nice to see some music in the garden with beer. You know, you've got a massive beer garden back at the brick makers. It'd
Yeah,
be nice to make use of that again, definitely. And if we could be part of that, and you know, like I said, help each other out. I know the Walnut Tree Shade's obviously another venue that have
yeah.
felt the pinch as well. I'm not so sure. I've not heard so much about the bigger ones like the art centres, and that. I'm not sure if they're more protected with government grants, etc. But I've not heard too much what's going on with
I have no
them.
idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like you say, I think they're getting a certain amount of funding anyway, but they'll still be feeling it the same as everyone else, because we've all got bills to pay. And, you know, whether
Yes.
you're a small venue or a large one, it's all respective to your venue, isn't it? It's just scary. And because there's no solid guidance out there at the moment, none of us can predict when we can open. So you're literally sitting on your hands day to day, aren't you? And
Yes.
it's
Yes. And
frustrating.
like I said, there's lots of mixed messages, and it really it did concern me when I saw the amount of people on the beach yesterday, because obviously, you know, everything opening up is dependent on, you know, infection numbers, and looking at some of the, you know, the volumes of people going out and about. If the infection numbers go up, then we could be back to square one again, and all pubs could get shut down again. So I don't know.
Thing is, it's really
It's a
worrying.
tightrope. Mm.
Yeah, you don't want to sort of get the go ahead to be open 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks you got to shut again.
Yeah,
Because, you
that
know,
would be the biggest. You know, I think consumer uncertainty. There'd be so much consumer uncertainty then if everything opens and it closes again. People are going to think, you know, then it's going to really, you know, throw everyone out of sync. You know, because people, you know, unfortunately, people are creatures of habit, and once they get used to staying at home and doing things from home, it'll be hard to get them out again. I think there's this kind of little bit of a kind of a false thing that everyone, as soon as we open up, everyone's going to come flocking out, and there will be people that will be desperate to go to the pub, but there'll be a lot of people very cautious about going out because of everything they've seen unfold during the last 3 months. So I think we need to, you know, I think obviously governments, landlords, everyone needs to understand that it's not going to be a case of we open up and the money's going to be rolling in again and we can all,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, we've got to be very mindful of that, because obviously capacity is going to be heavily reduced anyway. And actually with a lot of what they're intending to bring in says to me you're going to have to increase your staffing to manage the
Exactly.
procedures, but then take less money. So actually that could contradict itself. You know, you could have someone there clean the toilet all night, but you can only take 50% of what you could before.
That's it.
So it's so yeah, that is it's challenging times, but I think it's just like you say, a community driven thing. You know, there's obviously there'll be ways we can, you know, help each other out to make money and stuff. So I just we think we have to grin and bear it, and then fingers crossed by this time next year everything will be back to normal, and we can just see it as a distant memory.
Absolutely. Let's hope so. Anyway, let's talk on a positive note. Your
Yes.
menu. On your menu, because obviously a lot of our customers are going to be watching this. So let's get the message out to them, because I'm pretty
Yes.
sure a lot of them are going to be loving a bit of Mexican. And I do keep
Yes.
shouting out on my radio shows. So you're the man, you know, himself. Tell them
Yes.
what's on your menu.
Well, we do loaded nachos, tacos, and on occasion like homemade churros, which are like the dessert, the Spanish donuts.
Oh yes.
Um, so depending on the demand, I mean, we tend to find in the pubs people just want the nachos and the tacos, not so much the sweet stuff. So we do things like, example, slow cooked beef brisket tacos, pulled pork tacos. We do steak nachos, cheesy nachos. And we do like fried chicken tacos as well.
You're
We have a
making me
nice
hungry.
we have nice vegan options as well for like jackfruit tacos and barbecue baked bean nachos for the vegans.
Oh wow.
We can make all the nachos can be made gluten free as well, so the gluten free community don't feel left out as well. So yeah, we make our own homemade cheese sauce. We slow cook all our foods for between 6 to 12 hours to maximise the flavour. And things like the steak we cook on the day, so it's freshly marinated steak, which we cook in front of the customer when they order. So yeah, there's lots of nice, tasty goodies there. I mean, obviously the possibilities are endless, but when you're in a mobile unit, you tend to have to keep the menu quite
Sure.
streamlined so you can get the food out quick and keep the quality, fresh and good. But yeah.
So how
Um,
about the ordering process, Andrew? What's the best way to order?
well, for the moment, obviously with our we've been doing deliveries for the past 3 months, but we've put our deliveries on hold for 4 weeks while we get our bar sort of
Sorted out.
refurbished and ready for reopening whenever that could be. So at the moment we're doing pop-ups from our trailer, so we're going around different parts of Norfolk. So next week we'll be at Long Stratton on Tuesday the 30th. So anyone that lives Long Stratton Way will be at the Swan Pub. Then on Thursday we'll be in North Welsham, pitching up outside a local car garage. And then on Saturday we've just announced we'll be in Coltershall at the Red Lion Pub. So when the pub's open on the 4th, our trailer will be down the Red Lion in Coltershall doing
Awesome.
pop-ups there. So we'll be doing, for the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be doing pop-ups. And what we do is we put up a pre-order form, a Google document, which means you can pre-order online, pay contactless and everything. And the idea is that we do a contactless pickup service. So you book your time, you can come up and your food is literally ready to pick up and go. So obviously we do that to maintain the social distance and all that kind of stuff. And also just for ease. So people just want to take some food to go home, they can. If they want, obviously, because we are popping up at a few pubs, they can stay in the pub's grounds and eat the food there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've had put agreements in place with the pubs that they're happy for people to eat our food in the pub during that time. Obviously, on the 30th, pubs are still officially closed. It's going to be, I think, the Long Stratton, it's the Swan Inn in Long Stratton are doing like takeout drinks. Then I think on the 4th, it's the day where it's a day where all the pubs, a lot of pubs are allowed to reopen. The Red Line will be open for business.
Yeah.
But the plan hopefully is in the next 4 to 5 weeks is once the bar's reopened, we'll have our own little pickup food hatch in the bar so people can come and pick up, or they can get food delivered to their house, as we've been doing before, up to sort of a 5 mile radius for a
Sure.
fixed price. The deliveries we were doing prior to that, we were using taxi companies, which meant the costs were escalated for us a little bit, and also for the consumer. But obviously it was just something we had to put in place
Of
because
course.
obviously we'd never done it before. The taxi company were very, very good. They offered a good deal, so I could make it a manageable process. But as the deliveries got bigger, it just made more sense to look at maybe getting a full-time delivery driver and looking at ways to maximise the deliveries. Obviously, we have an off license, so people can also order drinks and food to their home. So, yeah.
Sure. So that ordering form, is that available on your website? Is it?
If you go on to what we've been doing is we've got on our website we've got our menu, so you can see what we do, and then what we do on the Google forms is we tend to post them on the public group. So, for example, there's like a Long Stratton community group which we post because we find that kind of covers anyone that lives in a certain area. So if you live in Long Stratton, for example, we will post the menu and the ordering process on there. So you go on there, you can get in touch with us and you can get your pre-orders sorted out. We find that's been the most effective way to get the name out to a large following of people in a short space of time. So I think, again, in the North Welsham on the 2nd, we've put that on the North Welsham notice board too. So we've kept it like that for now. Once deliveries are reopened, we'll have, because we're going to get our website built so we can take orders from the website. So it's literally book your food, whether it's for delivery or pick up, we're doing whatever it is. We're going to make it really streamlined and make it easy for the customers. That's another reason why we've kind of closing for 4 weeks to rejig the website, because we understand, customers need ease of, it's user friendly, get your order in, know what you're getting, boom, boom, boom. So that's what we're working towards. Obviously, it's a bit of a new thing for us, a delivery business. Never something I thought I'd be doing when I opened the bar 6 years ago. Is becoming, like a Deliveroo or a Just Eat of the Mexican food world. But
we adapt, don't we? At the end of
the day.
So good on you for doing it. At the end of the day, it's the one thing we don't have here. So we literally don't have any kitchens whatsoever, just a really bad worktop and a kettle.
There's nothing wrong with a good cup of tea though, is there? Especially before a hard shift.
You got that right, mate. Definitely. Well, thank you so much for chatting to me. It's nice to finally put a face to the name.
No, it's really nice to finally get to meet you in person as well. So I look forward to working together in the near future. And if there's anything, obviously from a venue perspective, anything we can do to help and support you, just shout out to us. We're happy to.
The same goes for us, of course. We're in it together, and maybe you need to bring your mobile unit onto our car park one Saturday afternoon.
Well, like I said, if obviously if there's if we don't know when we can have music again, I'm sure everyone would love to see you and the other ladies out there serving a few pints in the sunshine. I can bring my nachos and you can make an afternoon of it. It seems unfair that it seems unfair you can't open and other pubs can. So let's see what we can do.
Definitely. I like the sound of that. You made me really hungry now. I'm going to go after the fridge. It's not good. All right. Well, I'll catch up with you soon, Andrew. Have a really
thanks very much, Charlie. It's really nice to meet you.
Good luck with your refurb.
Thank you very much. Take care.
My friend. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.